explore the wisdom of the revered Narada Bhakti Sutras, a cornerstone of Hindu devotion, with His Holiness Swami Jyotirmayananda. Experience 45 enlightening lessons on the essence of Bhakti Yoga. Discover the path to pure love for God and transcend the material world. Embrace the teachings that have guided devotees for centuries. Attain spiritual perfection through devotion. Prepare to understand the depths of divine love. Find your path to spiritual enlightenment. Trust in the sutras. Follow these instructions. Be blessed with devotion. And now, His Holiness Swami Jyotirmayananda.
Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, bestower of immortality. Narada Bhakti Sutras, presently 55th Sutra, which I have already touched upon in the previous talk. I'll give you a little reiteration, because that's the climax of attainment by pursuing the path of divine love. Always you remember there are 4 major paths. When we say yoga, are you practicing yoga? In the West it's easy. Yes, I'm doing headstand. But in the Eastern country, that's in India, it's not so easy. Which yoga? Karma yoga, Bhakti yoga, Raja yoga, Jnana yoga. Think of your personality in 4 aspects. Karma, your hands. Karma yoga, how to perform your duties, what attitude should you have. And that's a profound study. And that touches your life all the time. How should you conduct yourself in day-to-day life? That's Karma Yoga. How to develop the love of God. That relates to your heart. If you have only hands, you become like big Kabandha demons. It's only hands. There has to be heart also. So, developing heart, love of the heart, directed to God, constantly prayerful, constantly surrendering to God, constantly remembering God, loving God in yourself and in others. That's a constant project. As long as you have a heart, this is the project. Bhakti Yoga. Then you have Raja Yoga. Raja Yoga relates to mind. How to focus your mind. How to practice concentration, meditation, and learn all about the secrets of mind's tricks. And then out-trick the mind. So you have hands, heart, head, and then there is a super head. That's Jnana Yoga, intellect. Subtle reasoning within yourself. All the time you are trying to understand. You can't stop it. This is not your choice. God created in such a way that you have to. If you have a light in your hand, that light will go on constantly showing things to you. Intellect goes on showing all the subtle mysteries of life. until intellect turns into intuitional aspect, cuts down the veil of ignorance, and then there is blast, super blast of effulgence. You are all sucked in. Pure awareness. In day-to-day life, all these four must go on synchronizing. You may choose any one of the four yogas as your highlight, but you must always understand that what is needed is the integration, integral yoga. Work, worship and prayer, meditation, and profound reflection all must blend. And they automatically blend if you just focus on one point. Just follow one particular yoga you have chosen. Now, Bhakti Yoga tells you that it's easiest to follow devotion, because love is so instinctive that the very first moment you came into the world, you knew it. You have to watch next time. You knew it, what love is. You look into the eyes of the mother. Even animals, once they have looked into the eyes, they know who is the mother. They may be separated. Mother might have gone out for finding some food, and when she comes back, there's a whole colony of birds. And yet the mother will recognize that little baby. And the baby recognizes them. That instinctive love is always there in every person. So every other thing you have to acquire, learn, discipline yourself. But love is innate. How to unravel that flame of love that is already burning within your heart. That's the path of bhakti. As love blossoms, unfolds, you realize there is only one target for your love: God. All things are loved for the sake of the self. And that self is the divine self, God. If you want to have argument about it, think of many lives you have gone through. In each life, you had a whole set of people whom you loved intensely. And once you move out of one embodiment to enter into another, all moves away. Though you had promised them, will never leave you, who loved you until the end of the whole universe. But it doesn't take much time. You slip away from all your commitments, all your words, all your relationships, and get into another set of relationships. Again, you start recovering your love, feel quite comfortable. If you could understand that you are actually loving God in this array of relationships which is created by Maya, your practical dealings with people is never affected. You are no longer limited by personalities and their qualities or their negative qualities. Your love goes on shining because it is targeted towards God. People can deceive you, but God can't. And you are loving God in them, so you can't be deceived. Until you realize there is nothing but God. Yes. Kabira sang it. Lali mere lal ki jit dekhaun tit lal. The devotee says, I went out to look for my beloved. And wherever I turned, I saw my beloved. The beauty of the beloved was everywhere. And as I started glaring at it, the eyes burst. It's not written that way. I became immersed in the beloved. Like a river coming to see the ocean with great excitement, keeping lot of diaries, all the things I will write and all the conversations I will have with the ocean. But once it has come into the ocean and enters into it, मैं भी हो गई लाल. The river itself becomes the ocean. That's the height of bhakti, devotion. And all that can happen and you will look just the same. Saints don't look any different. Because experience is internal. You never see the experience of human heart. All that you see is external. Having attained that, the devotee sees the same love, hears the same love, speaks the same love, thinks of the same love. Tat prapya tadeva avalokayati, tadeva srinoti, tadeva bhashayati, tadeva chintayati. In that state, there is a tremendous change occurs in all your four aspects. Your reason becomes intuitive. Your feeling turns into para bhakti, transcendental devotion. Your desires are no longer your ego's fabrications. You have become a channel of divine will. Those desires called satkama. Actions that are promoted by your personality are called satkarma. Those actions again are inspired by God. Saintly personality has become a tool. As I have previously explained, the presence of saintly personality is like a spring season. You never see it so vividly that here comes the spring. Look at his head, look at the way he walks. They're very subtle. The whole forest may be all drying away due to winter. The leaves have all fallen, the trees are bereft of their grandeur. And then suddenly time passes, the spring has come, look up. Even the skinny trees are blossoming with bursting flowers. The spring has come. So often, devotional progress is similar. Prior to it, you don't see, nothing is there. He's a devotee. And what do you see? He's a tree beaten by frost. And divine love blossoms. Then you become dazzled. The power that emanates from saints. Your actions become satkarma. And your associations become satsanga. The Vedic verse gives you an idea of the the height of experience of saintly personality. Madhu vataritayate. The wind blows with sweetness. Madhu ksharanti sindhava. Sweetness surges in the ocean. Don't confuse sweetness with sugar. It's a divine sweetness. Madhvirana santoshadhi. All these trees and vegetations, they are all filled with sweetness. The nights are sweet. The days are sweet. The very dust of the earth is sweet. Sweet word is very limited. It means bliss and with immense joy and all other good things all blended together. This is the height of attainment. Now we come to focus our attention on the process, the means leading to that attainment. In 56th Sutra, Gauni Tridha Gunavedat Artadi Vedad Va. The devotion I have explained so far is ahatuki bhakti. Devotion that is unconditional and it is primary. Gauni is generally considered secondary. You have to follow the secondary process in order to reach the goal. It's interesting to note how the term Gauni has come in. Gunas refer to Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. As long as your devotion is locked up in the three gunas, it's called Gauni Bhakti. Once your devotion goes beyond the three gunas, Para Bhakti, transcendental. Ordinarily, to develop Sattvic Bhakti is a great attainment for majority of people. But real Bhakti is not dependent upon the mind, not even the mind that is in a state of great purity. It transcends all. I will not get into deeper waters, but just to give you an understanding. The Gita I will be reading how a devotee goes beyond the three gunas, Triguna Atita, transcending the three gunas. If you have not transcended, then when there is sattva in your mind, you feel very happy and you are deeply enriched. But soon sattva moves away. But now you say to yourself, until sattva comes, I will not do japa, nothing. Because that mind will not be interested in it. Because you are trapped by the gunas. If sattva is there, then only I will be practicing sadhana. If rajas is there, I don't know what to do. Tamas there gets, then still you are moving far away. There's Gauni Bhakti. Your devotion is conditioned by the gunas. Now to elaborate it further, Gauni Bhakti can be, along with the gunas, Tamasi Bhakti, Rajasi Bhakti, Sattvic Bhakti. Tamasi Bhakti is you are turning to God to see that your enemy is revenged. You are turning to God to put others down, to trample over people who have offended you. Imagine doing all the japa, etc., just to see someone fall into mud. It's tamasi. Rajasi bhakti, you are better in a higher level. You are doing that so that you can have fame, power, success. And all that means a lot of pleasure. Whatever you wish, if it comes in quantity, money everybody likes, but if it comes in quantity, 50 million, more, that the mind becomes so excited about it. But that's Rajasic Bhakti. Sattvic Bhakti goes on bringing to your heart impressions of good karmas. And it is the Sattvic Bhakti that really gives you a substantiality to your personality. You become very enriched. But it is further fulfilled when you have attained enlightenment or attained supreme devotion. If not, then your good karmas are quantitative. They wear off and you slip back into your old style of life. All these are called Gauni Bhakti. But there are 4 types of bhaktas, devotees, described in the Gita. And it's well known in bhakti literature. Artha, Artharthi, Jigyasu and Jnani. Artha, turning to God in distress. Artharthi, turning to God for material help. There are times when people face such difficult times that they have to turn your mind to God. During earthquakes, hurricanes, floods, or you don't have to imagine too many things already. Look into the news. People who are afflicted by the calamities, they have to simply pray to God, just give me food, give me shelter. And that's perfectly okay. Devotion can work in a miraculous way. Then there is Jigyasu. Jigyasu is one who is an inquirer. Money, external attainments, they are not the focus of the mind. The mind is focused upon how can I unravel the mystery of the soul? How can I allow my mind to commune with the cosmic mind? What's the mystery of the soul? How to discover all its potentiality? All this is a vast topic. Jigyasu is the general sadhakas, aspirants. And Jnani is one who has already developed para-bhakti, supreme devotion. And as I have explained, his reason has become intuitional. Therefore, that's the goal, Jnani Bhakta. Let me further explain to you these 4 types. First, I will give you a classical reference. Draupadi is cited for illustrating Artha Bhakti. Artha means distress. Draupadi was the queen of the Pandavas. In the hands of the enemy, Draupadi was being insulted in a royal court. The insult in those times was just to disrobe her. And Draupadi prayed for Krishna's help. Nobody could help her. And the miracle happened. The person who was pulling the cloth of Draupadi's from her body, the cloth began to stretch. It was not rubber. It's just magic happened. And vast red range of cloth of different colors began to be drawn from her body, and her body was more decked than before, until the man who was pulling it fell down unconscious. And the whole world, the whole assembly watched with awe and wonder. And that was the time the mind of Draupadi looked around for help. Couldn't find help, neither from the 5 Pandavas, they were the heroes, not from Bhishma and great personalities of that, not anyone. At that time, she invokes Krishna, and immediately miracle happens. That's the illustration of Artha Bhakti. And to the extent you develop that Artha Bhakti, to that extent you experience a miraculous support proceeding from God. But there is general weakness. People many times come to a state of distress. They pray fervently and a divine assistance comes. But once that distressing situation moves away, the mind doesn't go after God. So that's a sentimental level. So when we talk about Artha Bhakti, the real Artha Bhakti is very profound. And that's the goal of, prior to entering into Para Bhakti, supreme transcendental state, you must come to the state of Artha. A recognition that the help will come only from God. The entire world does not have any capacity, any quality of helping you. And therefore, your heart melts in love of God. It's a melting heart, not a tormented heart. You have to see the difference between the two. Uttarasmat purva purva shreyaya bhavati. Of these 3 classifications mentioned in the previous sutra, each prior type is better than the one succeeding it, being conducive to the highest good. What does it imply? It implies Artharthi is the 3rd class. You are worshipping God for material help. God is always a means to an end. You're hungry, you worshipped God, God brought you a whole plate of food. Seeing the food before you say, you go away. This is what I want. Thank you. That's Artharthi state is the lowest. Then comes Jignasu state, higher than that. Artha state is the highest. And beyond that is absolute, pure, absolute state of devotion. Now, I've explained about Artha. Artharthi, the classical example of Artharthi. The story of Dhruva is cited for explaining that. There was a great king, and he had a son Dhruva, then he married someone, and the next son came was called Uttam. Now, mother of Uttam wanted her son to be the inheritor of the throne, to become the heir apparent, and not Dhruva. But according to the laws of that time, Dhruva was the elder one, and he deserved to be the ruler. As such, Dhruva used to come to the father's arms, and father used to pick him up. But one day that younger wife of his asked Dhruva not to sit in the father's lap. You are not fit to be the successor. But asked her own son. She displayed that partiality for her own son. Dhruva went to her, felt very hard, was deeply affected by it, asked his mother what to do. Mother said, "Don't worry, child. God loves you. He will help you." And Dhruva took it very profoundly. And he went to the forest. So the story goes. He went on practicing intense austerity. Recited, Narada gave him, initiated in the mantra of Lord Krishna, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He went on practicing the mantra. And God appeared before Dhruva, saying to him, "Ask anything you want." Dhruva asked for, by this time, all the sadhana he had done for regaining that kingdom, to become the heir apparent to the throne. So that was the problem that had urged him to enter into all this practice. But when he saw Lord Vishnu, immediately he said, "Oh Lord, I want devotion. I want nothing else." But Lord Vishnu said, "You will have devotion plus the rulership." So Dhruva is described as an Artharthi Bhakta. The major point to understand, no matter how limited may be your devotion to God, the devotion has that power to lead you beyond limits, enable you to transcend it. So you don't have to go on asking yourself, "Am I loving God because I'm selfish? What can I do to get out of this shell and become a real fish?" You don't have to do that. Devotion, no matter how limited it is, even thinking of devotion shouldn't give you again many ideas. Even just repeating the mantra, the divine name, nothing else, just repeating it. Even without asking any question, am I repeating it with the devotion? Am I repeating it for material things? Doesn't matter. We repeat the divine name even if you have some type of dissension with God. And then in classical examples, Arjuna was a Jigyasu Bhakta, inquirer. Shuka in Yoga Vasishtha was a Jigyasu Bhakta. Uddhava in Bhagavad Puran, another a friend of Krishna, who continued to receive teachings from Krishna, even until the last stage, when Krishna was to depart. He is cited as Jigyasu Bhakta. And Jnani Bhaktas are all those who are enlightened. Vyasa, Valmiki, King Janaka, and many others. Now, there is another interpretation from still higher level. Everyone needs to have all the four aspects in their personality. To be an Artha Bhakta is to develop heart. When mind turns to God or hear about godly things and your heart stays cold, Artha Bhakti is lacking. That means your heart has not accepted that profound atonement of love of God. Even ordinary form of love brings great thrill in the heart, and if God doesn't, there's something wrong. So Artha Bhakta means if you pray, tears will flow through your eyes. If you hear the praises of God, your hairs will stand on their end. Your heart becomes involved in it. And there develops a sense of surrender. There is statement comes in the Valmiki Ramayana. Sakrideva prapannaya tavasmi ticha yachate abhayam sarvabhuteshu dadamyetat vratam mama. Vibhishana came to seek Rama's help. I will not go into details. Vibhishana is one of the demon brothers, but he renounced his demoniac brothers and came to Rama. And Rama's associates asked Rama not to get him in, not to accept him. Rama says, this is my vow. Whoever comes to me and says, "Oh Lord, I have surrendered to you. I have nowhere else to go. It is my vow," Rama said. "Immediately I will make him free of fear from anywhere in the world, immune to all adversity, all negative forces." And that's my vow. That's the Artha Bhakti. Your heart has started melting, and you know that there is no other. Nowhere do you find any real support. There is no illusion in your mind. There is immediate response. So Artha Bhakti opens the door to Para Bhakti, absolute devotion. And Jignasu Bhakti is allowing your intellect to be keen to understand all about the soul, all about Brahman, and to become intuitional. If you have developed the heart of Artha Bhakta, hands of Artharthi. Artharthi means you get materials and you use materials for many things. And the head of a Jignasu, then you are a perfect person. You have hands, you have heart, you have head. Then you are called Jnani. Jnani in a different term, not like Jnani who is just following the path of Jnana, but Supreme Bhakta, perfect devotee. And with this we talk. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of spiritual growth. It's an honor to learn from the wisdom of Swami Jyotirmayananda. As we part for now, remember, the quest does not end. Take time to reflect on today's insights and integrate them into your life. Until next time, stay open, stay curious, stay present. The light within you is always shining.